Math is hard.
Math is hard.
Math is terrible.
I'm still trying to understand second grade, what's it called? Addition? What is it?
Okay, I made English Shakespeare pronounce Adian.
Mutilification? Mutilification?
Yeah, that's definitely it, Jake. You got it. You're such a smart boy.
I just want tattoos.
You're such a smart. But here's
give me my stickers.
Here's a nice loft house cookie, cause you're epic.
Oh god.
Why you gotta bring him into this like that?
Here's some nice chalky milk with your lofty house cookie.
I swear to God, yeah, we did.
Oh my God.
I swear to God.
Cold open.
Klidge, when we all meet up, whether it be at Murloch's wedding or whatever.
Tie me to a chair and force feed me.
No, I'm gonna convince everyone to go out for dinner.
You're gonna fight, and when Jake loses, he's gonna offer you a loft house cookie.
Hey, listen, screw you. We're all gonna go out to
What do you
eat
mean?
together.
He's got you outclassed in weight so easily.
I'm trying to get there, and I cannot put on weight.
I believe in you.
Very
He's
big.
losing weight, and he's still got you beat.
Very big props to Klidge though for all the weight loss, because that's
Like,
fucking astonishing.
Almost 60 pounds,
Thank
and
you.
like, how long has it been? About a year.
No,
No?
not even. It's been about half a year.
God damn.
60 pounds in like 6 months is kind of nutty.
But I'm gonna convince everyone to go out to dinner together, and I'm gonna have the waiter come up to us. I'm gonna be like, hey, my friend here, he's kind of shy, but this is his big night out on the town, and this is his big night out on the town, and
Big night.
you know, he really wanted to wear his Burger King crown, but I told him it just might not. Shut up. This is his big night out on the town, and he wanted to wear his Burger King crown, but I told him, you know, it's not really appropriate for Denny's.
I puke into my
And
napkin.
shut the fuck up. And I'm just gonna hand him like a little slip that says he wants some chicky nuggies and some chalky milk.
They're gonna shoot me.
They're gonna come out with all of our food, and then they're gonna come out with rifles with a firing squad and line you up against the door.
I'm like, okay,
Dude, when
buddy.
you say like you're gonna convince everyone to go out to dinner, it's like that's what the reception's for.
No, it's gonna be like, okay, buddy, let's go see the head chef. Okay. And they just leave me back, and then they just fucking Lenny my ass.
Teach you how to make pancakes.
Alright, just look at the crepes, son.
Just think about the nuggies. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, here in New York, we do things a little bit
In New York.
differently.
Yeah, New
Here
York.
in New York, we do things a little bit differently.
Oh my God.
Did I ever tell you guys about my older brother?
No.
Alright, so, okay, hi, welcome to the podcast, by the way. I'm Klidge. That's Chris, that's Chris, and that's Chris.
Everybody hates me.
I have athlete's
Everybody
foot.
adores
No.
Chris. Except the IRS, but that's a story for another time.
Chris got the
Yeah.
goat.
Fucking
That's true.
He also got the gird.
what? What did you just say? What did you just call me?
Anyway, next topic, guys.
Okay, so my brother.
Yeah.
So, a few years back, my older brother, he had a couple of lesions on his brain.
They are many.
I'm gonna puke. Okay, so he had a couple of lesions on his brain,
Oh my god.
and so he had to go into the hospital, and he had him taken off, and he was fine. But he was in the Cleveland Clinic because that's like one of the top hospitals in the United States, and as you might imagine, it's incredibly packed and very busy. And he was just being discharged. He was in a wheelchair. He probably didn't need to be, but he was in one. And he was with my mom and my dad, and they were just like, kind of, the whole thing was like a big mess because it was packed. My older brother was like in pain, but he was okay. But there's just a ton of people, and they need to get through. And my dad is the world's most impatient person when it comes to crowds. My older brother's not much better. And so they're like trying to push this guy in a wheelchair through a ton of people, and it's not working. And so my dad turns to my older brother and is like, all right, you know what? I know what'll get us through this real fast. And my older brother's like, what's that? He's like, all right, just act like you're absolutely brain dead. And my older brother's like, yeah, all right.
God.
So he just does the thing.
No.
He goes,
No. You can't do that.
Starts like seizing out, and almost like Moses parting the Red Seas, this group of people just went.
I mean, he did have brain leeches, so.
And the whole time, my mom was beating the shit out of my dad. You can't do that. That's not cool. That's not
You're
okay.
wheeling your brother like he's on the fucking red carpet through the hospital of all the people looking at him. And meanwhile, there's domestic abuse going on in the background.
Well, it was not in the background.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
How many of you have tattoos? Actually, I think that's a stupid question. I think all of you do.
I think all of us.
I do.
Shit.
Yep.
Well,
Same.
fuck. I gotta get the ball rolling on that.
What about you, Jake? Do you have a
Get a
tattoo?
tattoo.
Well, see, I actually I'm gonna get a picture of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I'm gonna get Gaston from Beauty and the Beast tattooed on my left ass cheek, and on the right ass cheek is gonna be his reflection. And so when I clench my ass, they aggressively make out.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you clap it to the rhythm of that song?
I mean, it'll just look like he's bashing his head into a mirror, but yeah.
No one claps
It's
like
like
Gaston.
Gaston.
No
No
one
one-
raps like Gaston. No one slaps on their big old round ass like Gaston.
Ooh.
Oh god.
So I got a question.
Well,
Good
that
question.
let's talk about tattoos.
Inquisitive shrug, huh?
Yeah, no, I got.
We'll talk about tattoos, but let's hear him out. Let's give him his big night.
Shamrock shake, yes or no?
Yes.
I've never had one.
Yes.
Okay, so I had my first one yesterday,
Mhm.
and it's like crack.
It is. It's
Is
really fucking good.
What's
Those
like
things
the
are so good.
what's like the flavor?
It's like it's
Mint.
like if you liquidized
Oh,
a
okay.
Thin Mint.
It's very good.
I thought you were gonna say Shamrock, and I was about to beat someone.
It tastes like fucking
Okay,
grass in
legitimate
Ireland.
question. What is a shamrock?
It's a four-leaf clover.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it just?
I
Silly
thought it was
name
like the
for-
Blarney Stone or some shit.
No, the Blarney Stone is a very specific rock.
It's a specific type of clover,
We have our own Blarney Stone, but his name's Dwayne
which
Johnson.
is the fucking weed.
No,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the shamrock is the four-leaf clover.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Why is it
I'm
called
like
a rock?
95% sure.
That's
huh?
not how fucking. That's not how the fucking world
It's
works.
because they're
that's
Irish.
because it's a sham, you fool.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
you know what,
that's
that's a
actually
good
pretty
point.
good. That's a pretty good point.
It's a really good point.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a shamrock tattoo?
You know,
Fuck that.
we were at a graduation party over the summer. This is actually the graduation party that caused my mom to tell me, "Hey, you're donor conceived." Anyway, I'll get into that in
Whoa.
a second.
Oh my
Here
God.
I am.
No, but the,
And yeah, now I have a Chris.
the
Yep.
people who were hosting the party had their nephews come over, and they had the thick Irish accents, and they were like tatted head to toe, and one of the guys looked at one of the tattoos that he had of like Goku and Vegeta. It was really well done too. Like, I wanted to know where he got it. He's like, "Oh yeah,
He had
Ireland."
tattoos of Goku and Vegeta.
Yes. But I wanted to know where he got him. He's like, "Ireland." I'm like, "Okay." Well, that rules that out for me. And but he had like a huge four-leaf clover tattoo, and I was just like, "There it is. There it is." But yeah, and the host of the party was just like, "Oh, he's got those Japanese cartoons on him." I'm like, "Oh, there it is.
Well, he's got a bunch of weeb shit on his arm.
Got a bunch of weep shit." Check
Okay, so
check
Jake,
out this
you were
guy.
asking about tattoos.
Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
Because Jake wants to be a tattoo artist.
Yeah. I'm trying
He's
to.
not getting very
I-
far, is he?
Oh,
He goes
thanks.
to the butcher and he asks him, "Hey, can I have some human skin?" They're like,
I have
"Well,
some
we're
human
fresh
skin?"
out. We got pig skin though, so you can have that for a hefty price." And he's just like, "All right."
I mean, I would take pig skin because it's good to practice with. I would
Yeah.
never practice with humans.
Yeah.
I can't practice on like orange peels and shit like that, even though it's supposed to be like really good to do. I'd
Orange
rather
peels are small as fuck though.
it. Well, that's the thing, and unless you're tattooing someone whose whole body is a fucking callus, Like,
Move
skin is
Florida.
not gonna feel like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not tattooing in Florida. I'd also,
Everyone's just sun crusted.
yeah. If he's in New York, everybody's soft and.
The needle's gonna go through the skin and it's just gonna leak out and the whole body's gonna crack apart.
Everyone
Yeah.
in New York has the skin consistency of wet tissue paper.
Of
Molten
wet
crap.
tissue.
If you like put your finger and go, you can actually like bunch it up and rip it off.
Ew.
Except for the
If I
fact
do
that
end up
half the
getting
year
more
we're
than-
so dry from the fucking winters that it's just ugh.
Dude, if I do end up getting more than one, I know exactly like what I want to end up.
What do you
doing.
have?
Huh?
What do you have?
Oh,
Share
I've
with
got.
class.
He's got that one, isn't it like suicide prevention?
Yeah, but it's like my own thing. It's death saves from Dungeons and Dragons because
Gotcha.
I'm a huge nerd.
I know that. I'm saying it for the audience,
I know.
Jake.
Oh,
But
sorry.
what I want to do, because one of my cousins is a tattoo artist, so if I get more than one, I want to get my next one done by her, and then I want to have my friend design another one for me. And I think it'd be really cool if Jake did one of my other ones.
Oh.
So I just like collect them from friends.
You know, I have
Catch 'em all.
I don't, I feel like this is frowned upon in the art community, but I would love to have like a design in mind, do like a really rough sketch of it and take it to one artist, and I'd inform them ahead of time that it was like a collab piece and my idea about it, just so they don't think that they're gonna be revamping my design with their style and then have me take it to someone else and be like, what the fuck, man. But because I know that in itself is frowned upon, but have like this collab piece where I can get as many artists to kind of put a little bit of their own spin into a design of mine and then get it tattooed. I don't know who would be the final one to actually put it on me, but
It's me. I have no training whatsoever.
I'm just gonna lay down a bunch of needles on the floor and jump in.
It's like acupuncture, but really terrible. Like more so than already is.
Yeah. Tattooing's been going slow lately for me, the practice thing, just because every fucking time I lay out the setup and I get ready, I find out, oh, I'm missing something. Last time I did it, it was the power cord to the power supply.
Okay,
Yeah,
then just go.
important
Then
piece.
just go grab it.
Go grab it.
Well,
Yeah.
Jake, see, what you're neglecting is that all that you really need to tattoo is a really big stick and some ink.
I am not gonna do stick
Yeah,
and
that's how
poke. I
Klidge
mean,
got it done, yeah.
I want to learn stick and poke, but I'm not going to do that as my primary.
Terrible. Don't do that. That's
It
so-
hurts.
I was about to say, Klidge has like a fourth of his back is one of those.
It's not a fourth.
Absolutely
I don't
terrible.
know. I haven't seen it in a while.
No, it's just my shoulder blade. For reference, I have a big Buddhist sun on my left shoulder blade that I went to Thailand with my brother, and we went to a monk in a temple. One second, I'm gonna puke again. And we went to him. We had bought some prayer beads. We gave him an offering of a pack of cigarettes and some cash. And that's true, by the way. It was a pack of cigarettes and like $30 as an offering, not as like an actual like payment for it, but because it's not mandatory. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's quote unquote mandatory. And
Do you think he would have done it if you didn't pay him?
not as good of a job, probably. The Buddha shines brightly upon those who pay money, I guess. But yeah, we went in front of a fucking altar with a bunch of like scary imagery, all in gold. And this dude spoke Thai at us. We didn't understand a fucking thing that he said. And then he pointed at my older brother, turned his ass around, and started stabbing him in the back with a stick until a tiger was there. And then it was my turn. And then he did the same thing until a son was there. And it hurt like fucking hell because you can literally feel the thing hitting your bones.
Mm.
Yep.
It hurts like fucking shit. But
Wait,
then
I'm sorry, like literally hitting your bones, or
Like,
just you can feel the
actually.
pressure?
I mean, I don't. Okay, so I don't know the answer to that.
Because
don't-
I'm not well versed in like stick and poke tattooing, but you should not be going past the hypodermis.
I don't think that it was
Better
that
not-
deep.
tattoo gun hitting a bone. I've had it hit my
Oh
collarbone.
shit! It is. Yeah, that's.
It
God
would probably be just like
damn.
that. Because
Yeah,
I know exactly the feeling you're talking about.
yeah. It's like I don't know for certain if it hit like my shoulder bone or not. It sure as fuck felt like it.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
can feel it vibrate your whole bone.
Oh,
It's so
God.
gross.
absolutely.
It,
But-
luckily, it's like so. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
No, dude, you were in the middle of a story.
No.
No, you talk.
I
God damn it.
implore.
Y'all need to stop being so nice to one another.
Rip
Well,
each other apart.
straight up fucking interrupted, but okay, I guess. No. Honestly, oh yeah, it's hitting bone is so. It's not gonna happen super often unless you're hitting places like the rib, or like along the edges
Oh
of
God.
the arms or shit like that.
Along.
I'd never do my ribs ever.
Yeah,
I'll
I've
do
heard.
the inside
I've
of my
heard.
forearm before I do my ribs.
Yeah.
I've heard ribs, collarbone, ankle, top of the foot. They're fucking hell.
Yeah, but yeah, at the end of this whole ordeal, after you got the image on your back, he goes up and he I gotta stop doing that. I fill in every other word with fucking.
Hey, same man.
What's your
He
fucking point?
goes, yeah, right. He goes and he blesses it, says a prayer, splashes you with like holy water or something,
And then tells you to leave.
and then no, and then he like you have to bow to him, and then he prays over you.
And then
And
Klidge.
for like 5 minutes. Huh?
Then Klidge screams, "Embrace tranquility!" and he floated off the mountain.
Actually, yeah. I floated out towards this giant, like a 1,000-foot long Buddha that's just kind of booling.
Just kind of chilling.
He's just kind of hanging out.
He's just like, "What's up, Buddha?" And he's just like,
And he
That's
looked down at you and said, "Give us a picture, not a belly itch."
Yeah, I remember that. He stood up and he did the default dance.
To my fucking what's it called? Fortnite. The
Yeah, he did
Oh,
that, and then he
God.
went back to whatever the fuck he was doing. But yeah, no. So that I have one tattoo, and that's how I got it. Maybe I'll post it somewhere, but probably not. What about you, Crumps?
Yeah, Crumps, Krampus.
Crash.
I have, I mean, okay, if we're gonna go by sessions, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions done, but I have
Fuck.
technically 1, 2, 3 tattoos.
What are they?
They all-
Where are they? Which one's on your dick?
All of them are on my penis.
Fuck.
It's like he can wrap it around his neck when it's cold.
Oh
It's
god.
like-
If it gets too cold, it retracts.
I put a knife, I tape a knife to the end of it and call it my sling blade.
My smile disappeared.
He's like,
Shut up.
God.
But I have almost all of my right arm done. On the inside of my right forearm. I've kind of, so there's reasoning, there's meaning behind it. I've got the Jeet Kune Do symbol, or the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, and then I have like waves going around it for the Be Like Water line, and then I have koi fish going on the back of my tricep all the way up to the like right past my collarbone.
Can
on
I
the
ask
back.
what the Jeet Kune Do symbol is?
It's just basically a yin yang with
Okay.
two arrows going on the outside,
Gotcha.
kind of like it almost looks like a recycle symbol.
Yeah.
I'm really into recycling. I'm really passionate about it.
oh,
No, no,
Okay.
no. It's just and then the other one's the shitty one. And I'll just go ahead and fucking say it out loud. I've never said it to anybody, but you've heard it here on the podcast.
Oh shit.
I got this tattoo because of my ex-fiance. She had a tattoo very similar to it. It's not the exact same thing, and it's not even in English. It's in Hylian. It's fucking. I got the Triforce on my fucking wrist, and then I had in Hylian balance going, like Hylian text going down. It's kind of looks like an arrow almost, pointing downwards towards my wrist. But that one was a mistake and will most likely be getting filled in.
I know Chase a while back when I first announced that I wanted to get into tattooing. This is before I even bought the fucking kit. This kit is like a really cheap piece of shit, so I don't expect it to last me more than like 2 months of practice.
I thought you said this kid, and we're talking about
This kid's a piece of shit.
I thought you were talking about Jason. I'm like, whoa.
No, this kit, this tattoo kit. Jeez.
Gotcha.
Damn, I love you, Chase.
Big love for Chase.
What was I gonna say though? Yeah, and he sent me a picture of it. He wanted me to tattoo like, it's sort of a half sleeve. It's from kind of the bend of the elbow to his wrist on the like,
Tubi's ass.
yeah, really elongated tubey ass. But no, it was kind of like an arrow shape, but it had like a bunch of, it reminds me of exactly what Chris was just describing. It had the Triforce, it had the wings around the Triforce, and then had some sort of text going down. Looked pretty cool. But I told Chase, I'm like, I'm not doing this until I know how to sanitize properly, I know needle depth, I know like everything.
Yeah. Shit was I've been to 3 different tattoo artists across where I live. And I kind of liked Jake's idea though of getting like a collaboration of artists for one piece.
Yeah.
I kind of do the same thing, but I'll design a lot of my tattoos just as like a rough sketch.
Yeah.
As of like what I want, and then I'll hand it off to the artist, and then I let them go wild there. And I get multiple different pieces on the same sleeve done by different artists, so that I have like, and I make sure it's cohesive. You know, I make sure it doesn't look patchy and pieced together. But that's my plan with that.
I do have ideas for the two major ones I want. I want one on each arm. I don't know where the placement I want is, but I know that the one that I want on the outer part of the bicep, kind of going down to maybe mid forearm, is the Shinigami from Naruto, because that design is fucking badass, and I love it. Like, you hear Naruto tattoo and you probably cringe to yourself, but the Shinigami is
I'm not
awesome.
even gonna lie to you.
Like, the Shinigami is fucking amazing looking.
Bro, I can't talk. Do you know what I just told you what I have on my wrist?
What's up?
I have the fucking Triforce on my wrist. I have a Triforce and a fucking yin yang. I am the epitome of white guy. Naruto tattoo my ass. I'd rather have a Naruto tattoo.
Don't worry about your tattoos. As long as you like them, who the fuck cares?
Oh, I know.
What was I gonna say though? And then on the other one, the 3-legged crow god in Japanese mythology, Yatagarasu. Yeah, I love that, and I feel like I can come up with something that'll be like really cool for a sleeve, but I don't know what it's gonna be yet.
Use the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
The what?
The Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Is there a Yu-Gi-Oh card of it?
Goddamn right there
It's fucking
is.
awesome.
What isn't there a Yu-Gi-Oh card of?
That's true.
Happiness.
No, there's plenty of those. Here, hold up, Jake. Let me find this for you. 'Cause this card is so good. I think it was like banned at one point.
Pot of Greed.
All right, I'm putting it in the podcast channel.
One of the things I'm thinking about getting next is like if I go for a full like sleeve, I kind of just want it like almost like it's just armor running down my arm.
That's why they call it arm.
Basically, just like a full gauntlet running down the outside of my arm.
I mean, I think I've said before what I would like to get, like on my opposite shoulder blade, but this time by like a Norwegian monk on a mountain, is a world tree.
Klidge really likes traveling for these things.
It's all, dude. If I'm gonna get something committed to my body until the day I fucking die,
I
or
get you.
rips it off, yeah, I want to have a nice story to go with it.
Or someone rips it off.
It's possible.
Pound of flesh.
People get hungry.
You're not in the Donner Party.
You don't know.
Look, man, you're not from Ohio.
That's very true. I don't know what atrocities go on out in Ohio.
I mean,
The entirety of Ohio is an atrocity.
In Ohio,
this
Meat
is true.
Canyon isn't a YouTube channel; it's a place.
Oh, ew. Oh.
Oh.
I didn't need. That was unpleasant.
Stop
Just like
bringing
Ohio.
Meat Canyon up in this chat.
Look, there's one person you can
They're
blame that for.
witnessing perfection.
Ohio.
No,
Yeah.
it's Jake.
What?
We're fully allowed to blame Jake.
For bringing.
Look at the Podcast channel. I'll probably throw up these pictures onto the actual video of the podcast. Audible, if you're saying it to that, I feel like you're just
No.
letting your hatred of Naruto.
No,
Cloud
first of all,
your-
I've never seen it. Second of all, you said throw him up, so I was making
Oh
him
god.
fit.
Ooh.
But I love.
I've legitimately never seen the show.
It's the first. It's good if you like it.
Okay, if you're gonna watch Jump, you really gotta hang in there.
Yeah.
It's a bumpy ride.
It's good when it's good. It's slow anywhere else. Like, I will tell you, I love Naruto, and I know probably a lot about it. I have never seen Shippuden in its entirety, and I never plan to.
I don't blame you. It's got a lot of like really important stuff in it, but I'll say this: Christine and I and a lot of people in her server watched all of Jump and almost all of Shippuden now in a matter of like if we did this in one sitting, it probably my math's probably wrong here because someone out there is gonna know the real amount of hours it would take from start to finish, but we got through it quick as hell when you skip the filler.
I got Google. Hold on.
It's like just Google how long.
Because like in a matter of 2 weeks, it seemed like we were from episode 1 to episode, like, if you combine Jump and Shippuden, it would be like episode 500 and something.
So, the length of the Chimera Ant arc of Hunter x Hunter. Got
Jeez.
it. Okay, so if you're gonna watch, so every episode is about 20 minutes long if you skip the opening preview or of previous episodes and closings. That's total. So that takes the total time for the series to be around 14,400 minutes or 240 hours. About 10 days straight of Naruto.
It's actually the actual series Naruto episodes is 84.3.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that sounds right for the Jump series.
Juicy bits.
Because I know it ends on like episode 130 or 132 or some shit, and that's when Shippuden starts.
Yeah.
Fucking Naruto. I used to really like Naruto. But
What killed it for you?
I grew out of it. Which, I mean, look, that is in no way meant to be a roast towards you or Jake, who still enjoy
Nope.
it very much. It's solely I just couldn't be into it anymore. You
That's
know?
understandable.
I get you.
Yeah. I have no problems with people who still like it. Did I
The
tell
only
the story
thing-
on the podcast
Go for it.
about the Naruto headband?
Yes, you
incident?
did. I don't know about on the podcast.
I don't know, because the podcast where you guys talk about Naruto for like 45 minutes is currently lost or being edited.
Yeah, that's a lost episode. We'll retrieve that someday.
You will probably hear of it at some point. I think I have it recorded and I have to edit it, but anyway, yeah. So the story, if I told this story, I told it then. So I used to be a huge Naruto fan. I used to have like the big foam ninja stars that you could throw like boomerangs.
Oh, I had the real ones and I threw them at my friends.
You did what now?
What?
Yeah, we had a local karate
foam
supply
throwing
store.
stars.
Same. Those were fun to throw. They hurt like a bitch, so if you got hit by them.
I did. I had to pull one out of my fucking ass cheek one time.
I bet
You
you
had
did.
rubber ones.
Friend threw one at me, and as I was running away, and it went right into my ass.
Oh, dude.
Fucking hell.
Never the
But-
bladed, only the rubber. It's like getting hit by a rubber bullet if they throw it hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, we had the bladed. I mean, we had the quote-unquote bladed ones. I mean, they were dulled at the tips because the people selling them at our mall. Because we had like a ninja supply, quote-unquote ninja supply store
Yup.
at our mall.
The Ninja Military Surplus Store.
Dead ass. They had
Next to
they had all
Kroger.
kinds of-
These
they had
damn
all kinds of
Midwest
cool stuff
ninjas.
in there. It's next to J.C. Penney's. Thank you
Oh
very
my
much.
god.
They had a life-size Bleach. What's the big sword?
All I know is Bankai.
Yeah, they had the.
I don't think it was called a Bankai. I think that's the thing he did when he like powered up.
That's
I
correct.
never
They had
watched.
Ichigo's
It's not the
sword.
Zanpakuto,
I think
is
it's like a
Yes,
Shikai or
that's
oh,
right.
Zanpakuto. Okay.
Zanpakuto. That sounds right.
Yep.
I used to fucking love.
Fuck is a
Bleach, too.
Shikai?
I am so lost in this
I have no
entire
idea.
conversation.
It's just a really big sword, Audible. That's all you need to know. But yeah, the people who were selling them there, they're like, we're not selling fucking real ninja stars to anybody because these little kids are gonna actually put their eyes out, and then that's bad business for us. So they had the dull blades for them, but this kid who I knew, he was just like fucking with me, and I was a dumpy fat kid, so he threw one of these and it fucking stuck into my ass. Shit hurt.
And then
That shit hurt.
then it was like that video where the kid throws the ping pong paddle at his brother and he collapses the table. The kid starts screaming.
Bingo. That was exactly what it is. But no,
Oh my
so
God.
I used to be a huge. That's just point of reference. Used to be a huge Naruto fan. At one point, Walmart used to carry the headbands. You could buy the headbands with like the little Naruto symbols on them.
Mhm.
And me being a little fucking weeb was just like.
Oh, you forgot to include the part about how like you had to ask if they had any
I'm
stock.
not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Fucking jumping
It
the gun.
sounded like you were gonna go over that. Okay.
Let the man tell his story.
Jake, I need you to know I have a gun.
I have a gun. No. I listened to that back, by the way, and it made me laugh. I have a gun. It's just so, like I can just like the fucking really slow guy holds up the weapon. I have a gun. But no, I went to go check in the toy aisle for them because that's where they would have had them. They weren't there. I was like, well, that's not good. I really want this. I was like, I need to go find the Naruto headbands. So then I checked the what's it called? The shit that's on sale that no one wants to buy. Clearance section.
What's wrong with Clarence?
It's a bad show made by a creepo.
Oh shit.
That's real, by the way.
I don't know anything about it, so.
Quote unquote allegedly, yeah. Details. But I went up to a Walmart attendant and I was just like, hey, do you guys have any of the Naruto headbands? And she's just like, what? I was like, okay, bye. And so I
And then
waddled up.
Naruto ran through the wall.
That's correct. I concussed myself and woke up 2 hours later. But when I woke up, I heard over the intercom as we were going to be leaving the Walmart with the little boy who was looking for the Naruto headband. She said it wrong. It wasn't Naruto. It was something like Naruto. I think it was Naruto. The Naruto headband.
The Yu-Gi-Oh headband, please.
The Pokio. The Pokiyuto.
The Pokemon's headband.
Yeah, the Pokemon band. Can you please come to the clearance section of the thing? And of course, I'm the only, like, I'm the fat little dumpy kid waddling over to the clearance section because I still want to get it, but now, like, the whole place is, like, looking like, all right, who's the little shit who got on the
They
intercom?
were all waiting to like. just
Everyone was
point at
there
you.
ready to jump me.
They're all waiting to point at you and have their mouths open like. "Argh!"
Pretty much. I mean, it's what it feels like.
They were all just gonna start chanting "Weeb, Weeb."
Yeah.
I went and I got it, and it was whatever the sound group was, the Sound Country.
Oh yeah, the sound. That's what they were called.
Are they just like the Sound Ninjas?
Yeah, it was the Sound Village, Sound Ninjas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. They were really never touched on past like season 2.
Yeah, they weren't. They fucking died in the Chuma exams. And
The Chuma, the Chuma exams, where Goro fought Stone Lee.
Yeah. Listen here, you fucking Naruto elitist.
You fucking Hollywood Naruto elites out there.
Yeah. But no.
Established canon, Jake is a Naruto elitist. You
Yeah.
recorded it.
I know too much about the show.
Naruto elitist.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my story about the time I got beat up in Walmart. Jake was there.
They used their shadow clone jutsu on you. Ran
I know
a
that I
train
had
over.
dude. I know I had. Okay, hold up. I know I had a book that I'd gotten at a school bookstore or book fair.
Book fairs were the
That
shit.
had like how to be a real ninja in it. Things was you can actually walk on water if you tried it over 1,000 times over and over again, and I was convinced it was real.
Isn't that called insanity?
Well, it didn't work.
It's called
Isn't-
being like in elementary school.
In
That
water,
does not have a
Klidge will
childhood.
drown.
Fuck you.
Damn.
In water, Klidge will drown. But yeah,
Fucking
you
hell.
guys, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Did you guys have any fucking weird ass experiences like that, where like you got suddenly put on the spot in a public setting?
No, I put myself on the spot in a public setting because I had no shame as a child.
All right, let's hear it.
Surprisingly, in middle school, this wasn't even middle school. Well, technically, it was like 5th, 6th grade. I wore one of the Akatsuki robes in for Halloween.
Oh, okay.
It was Halloween, and I remember my whole class was sitting there, you know, calling me like a fag and stuff. And I'm only saying that because it's the description of what happened. And so I'm like, okay, you know, this is normal everyday shit, just amped up a little bit.
I'm constantly being called this.
Oh my god. And but a bunch of, for some reason, the seniors loved it. And like, I could tell at the time, like at that age, I could tell like when someone was just being like, yo, look at this shit, to be like, look at this fucking kid. Like, he thinks
Look at
this is
this
cool.
dude.
No, like, a lot of the seniors were really into like Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh, shit like that. And they weren't like the, like, they're not like the seniors you would think. But I remember they invited me like into the senior lounge for the day, and I was just like, yo, this is shit. Because like no one was ever allowed in the senior lounge.
What the fuck's the senior lounge?
Yeah,
What?
that school had some weird shit. There were ping pong tables everywhere, and they had a senior lounge, and the senior
What
lounge
kind of
was like,
Disney-ass high school are you going to?
yeah,
real shit. What?
I was in Riverdale High School.
Was there a camera crew?
God damn.
No,
Catholic priest?
what it was is you would walk in. It was in an old abandoned strip mall that they repurposed into a school, and
I can't
there
tell
was-
if you're joking.
no,
or
I'm not. I'm not at all.
That's the real part.
And so you would walk in, and to the right there was like the main office, and then just past it there was like this corner room that had like all glass windowed walling and all that with sliding doors. And inside they had like a leather sectional, a flat screen TV, a mini fridge, their own ping pong table, and like a recliner, and then a vending machine. And everyone always wanted to go in it, but they wouldn't let anyone but sometimes a few of the juniors in. And the day I wore the Akatsuki cloak in, they're like, dude, get the fuck in here right now. And then like we all just weebed out about like the latest chapter that came out.
That's so wholesome. I love that. That you're being called a fucking fag by your classmates, but then you go in and the seniors are like, this fucking dude is sick with it. Bring him
Oh
into
my
the
God.
senior lounge, and then you all drink.
Then we all got excessively
You all
drunk.
get trashed. Like,
That was the
what's
private
this,
school.
Strip mall?
That was the private school. It was
Yeah, I mean,
something.
like, I've never like put myself on the spot or been put on the spot like that because I was too socially awkward to ever break the norm.
Really?
And literally.
Well, that's the thing with it. Is
Yeah.
just like you never. With stuff like that, it's hardly that you go out looking for it. It's usually just happens. Like I didn't want the attendant to put me on blast through all of Walmart, being like, "Hey, to the fucking fat weeb who's looking for a Naruto headband, we found one. Get your ass over here."
No, like that's the thing. I am the definition of a background character.
Bet.
And then Klidge finally went back like 20 years later, and he's like, haha, I am not the fat kid, I've learned sexy jutsu.
Like, George off.
All right, I regret being in this podcast right about now.
I also have a Naruto-related childhood incident.
Seems like Naruto really fueled some embarrassing shit.
I, as well as owning a headband, owned wristbands as well.
Wristband.
Yeah, man. They were like they were. I think you could get them at Hot Topic. I can't remember.
Chris, back at it again with the wristbands.
I know. I was like, I could deflect any sort of kunai coming my way, and like.
I don't recall wristbands, but go on.
They're not a fucking thing. It was literally Hot Topic merch.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. But I wore those to gym all the time, and my gym teacher made fun of me in front of the whole class.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I just kind of took them off and put them in my locker, and like
Bro.
I didn't really. I cried about it like when I got home because that shit hurt my feelings.
When a teacher calls you out, like there's calling a kid out and making an example out of him, and that's humiliating enough. And then there's a teacher just calling a kid out because of something that he thinks is cool and making fun of him.
Mr.
And it's
Hickman,
just like,
if you
holy
can
shit.
hear me, Mr. Hickman, if you can hear me, you can suck a fat cock.
You
I mean, you're probably dead already.
You
You're
hick
fucking
man.
I was say, imagine having a name that's an insult.
Him
You
and
fucking
his son
hick
can suck
man.
a dick. His son sucks too.
His son sucks too. Fuck your lineage, Mr. Hickman.
I don't even know who you are. You might be cool. Fuck you.
Oh jeez.
He's
If you're
not.
listening to this, thank you for the
Well, he
support.
wasn't. He made fun of me my senior year, and so I'm still mad about it.
My 8th grade gym teacher used to call me Edward all the time. That's when like Twilight
Used to
came
call
out.
you what?
Edward.
I can see it. I can see that being a teacher.
It's when I had first like cut my hair short and I kind of like started like spiking it and all that, and you know.
You know what? I could kind of see it though.
Yeah, and so he would call me Edward, and then
You're a beautiful man. You could pull that shit off.
Robert Pattinson's weird looking.
He is.
He looks like
He
he looks like
Also
a well.
dead in Harry Potter.
He looks like. Spoiler, not really.
If you haven't seen Harry Potter, you're not gonna go see Harry
Yeah.
Potter, especially if you're listening to this shit show.
I actually watched. I didn't watch past Azkaban until like I was 19.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban. I forgot about that. Why didn't we name this Azkaban?
Because it's hard to market.
That is hard to market.
Well, where's the marketing budget going, Klidge?
I don't fucking know. You know what? You know what our fucking marketing budget is? It's $10 of me gonna put this shit on Podbean.
I spent it on DoorDash. I'm sorry.
I've spent it doing the Grubhub dance.
Oh my god. Anyway, this teacher, 8th grade gym class teacher, he would call me Edward all the time. This guy, I could tell, became a gym teacher for the power trip. Just to like have that power over kids, making them run around the gym until they're about to pass out and all that shit. He was a dick.
Imagine your power fantasy being gym teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it
the
works for some people, I guess. But I remember a buddy of mine, Keegan. We were all doing sit-ups, and I remember he came over, and Keegan was mouthing off to him at the beginning of the class, and he like put his foot on Keegan's chest and started like pressing down. And we all thought he was joking around because Keegan and him had this dynamic where it was just like they were always busting each other's balls. And Keegan looked really worried, like he wasn't gonna stop. And I remember like the other teacher coming in and blowing the whistle for everyone to start running laps. And that's the only reason he fucking stopped. And I'm just like, what the fuck was this guy gonna do?
Dude, your
Is Wendell
gym
High
teacher's a Disney villain.
He's a
Where do you go
he
to
is.
Disney High School?
This is real. Yeah, for real though, Jake. Like, was there a talking animal at any point in time?
You know, we did
Did you have
have.
a
I
sidekick
think
that
it was Jake.
Was you have a talking animal that was voiced by Eddie Murphy
Or George Lopez?
or George Lopez? Do you have a giant
Or
electrical
Gilbert
head?
Godfrey.
That's true. It had to be a
Yeah.
bird.
That was the entire faculty. You just listed all of them.
Jaffa! I love Gilbert
Oh my
Gottfried. I really do.
There's a video on the internet where it's him just doing a bunch of video game quotes, and it may be one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Did you see the podcast channel? The potential?
Oh yeah.
Because hearing Gilbert Gottfried go wah wah wahoo.
No, I was
very-
okay. So there's an idea in the works that we might commission Gilbert Gottfried through Cameo to do the introduction of the podcast if we make it towards season 2, get a little bit of a following going, and we realize it's like an ongoing thing that we're gonna stick with, and
If we keep this up, the intro is going to be done by Gilbert.
oh my god, yeah. And so I was on his Cameo showing it to Christine today, and I was going through his best of, and one of them was he was reading off a message like someone's girlfriend wanted to have him read off, and it was like, "This is from." I can't fucking do it, Gilbert.
Oh my
Gottfried.
God.
He's like,
That's
"This
smart.
is from Diane.
That was
Thank
actually
you for keeping that thing on you 3 years running and making it look as good from the front as it did from the back."
That's actually a really not bad impression.
Yeah, no, that's not terrible.
I can't
my
be
throat
proud of
hurts.
you.
That
My
one's
throat
hard.
hurts.
That is a hard one. He's got like such a unique voice. Fucking, I love his voice. But no, real quick, I had a science teacher who I ain't gonna say her name because
Stocks.
You keep talking about this. I gotta pee.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
Well, she we got her my 7th grade year. I'm pretty sure it was my 7th grade year. She was a brand new teacher, and she wanted to do. I don't know why she became a teacher. It didn't even seem like she wanted the power trip of it because she hated all the kids.
Yeah.
She, I think, had this idea of what teaching was supposed to be like,
Oh,
but the fact that reality is often quite disappointing, she couldn't grapple with that realization. So what she did was, if kids at any point in time had any questions for her, she would ignore them. She just wanted to teach the lesson, get the information out there, and all the kids to understand without actually having to explain shit.
that's a college professor's job. That's not.
No, because college professors actually want to have like a semi-relation with the students. Like they want to like participate in your education. That's why they became college professors.
I've only had one like that.
The vast majority of my college professors have been like that. They've been wanting to be engaging and very a part of your education. So maybe that's just my own experience in college, but it's been very nice to that end. Since I've come back, I should say, I definitely had dickheads like that my first go around in college. But this lady would ignore kids' questions and say, "I just went over that." It's like, yeah, but I didn't understand it because you're moving pretty fast. Well, that's not my problem. She legitimately would say shit like, "That's not my problem."
But it is though.
But exactly. So one time,
In fact, I consider that the definition of your problem.
bingo bongo, I would hold up my hand. So one time I held up my hand. I was like, "Look, my grade in this class is already kind of dwindling because this bitch doesn't want to slow the fuck down for anyone to write shit down." So I raised my hand to ask a question. She turned around, saw, and was just like, "All right, you're going to detention." I was like, "What?" It's like, "Yep, you want to go and disrupt class all the time? Well, you're going to go get detention." For the record, in the 7th grade, I was a shy little shithead who didn't say shit in class to anybody. I didn't want to talk, didn't want to raise my hand, didn't want to do anything. So the fact that I'm now being reprimanded by this horrific bitch for raising my hand, like, is a huge shot down to the confidence
Yeah.
in anything. And I'm pretty sure I barely passed that class. I think she was fired, like, within 2 years because she was so horrific at her job.
Good.
And then the other science teacher just made us watch Bill Nye and, what's it called? Some fucking Galapagos Island documentary about turtles fucking. And that guy
Well,
was
we had
weird.
to
'cause
watch
he
that. I
liked
don't
to
know
watch.
Sorry.
That guy was weird because he liked to watch cows fuck.
Oh no!
Hey.
What the fuck? Did you guys hear
Anyway.
about the artificial insemination like laboratory with bull sperm where they all heat
Yeah,
it
that's
up
you,
and
man.
Ba-dum-bum. Anyway,
anyway,
is that Gilbert Godfrey?
uh
Ah,
Welcome to the Woodshed Radio Podcast.
oh god.
clip
Yeah, that's
that.
actually pretty good.
No, a bunch of bull sperm, for those who haven't heard of this, they were in little glass vials and they overheated and there was just bull sperm blowing up all over this
Gilbert
factory.
Gottfried messed you up.
Yeah.
There was just bull sperm.
Oh god.
Clean up on aisle 4.
There was so wait, a big vat of bull semen boiled over.
Yeah. Why not? I don't think there was a vat included in this.
Why are they boiling fucking bull?
They're not
sperm?
fucking boiling it.
It's the cum jar times 20.
they made a real fucking what was the fucking My Little Pony character they put in the
an
mason jar?
actual horse in,
Oh,
in
God.
They taxidermied a pony, painted it. Which one did they put in the fucking jar? I don't know.
I can't wait for Bryce to come back and see what's become of this podcast.
Yeah, Bryce is fucking basic, by the way. To anybody who's like curious about that, he sold his soul to the government.
The government came and took our Bryce.
He's no
Hey,
dog
dude.
of the military.
He's gonna come back and ask us to stop doing the podcast because it's making him look bad.
Because it's
I am your government-issued stand-in, Bryce.
Yeah,
Sorry.
or Shrugman.
He is our cardboard cutout of Bryce that's gained sentience, is now here.
Deploying friend. Hi, it's Audible.
Aw.
Aw. Oh my god.
Gosh, Jake,
What's up? Hi, man.
what else happened at your
Hey, man.
fucking magical Disney? Hey man.
I do
man.
want to hear more about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to know.
No, I have a lot of stories because there is a large part of my psyche that was traumatized by this school.
Let us
Um,
hear it, dude. Were your Okay, imagine.
I was gonna
this.
say I'm trying. You know how we have that like little ongoing joke, like, oh no, I should save that for the podcast during the week. I'm kind of about to drop that. I think I want to save that for my therapist, but
Too fucking bad.
too fucking bad.
You can just, you know what? Here,
Well, that's
Jake, I have
too
a better
damn
idea.
bad.
I have a better idea, Jake. We are just gonna get it all out of the way now, and you play this to your therapist.
All right, let me start
and then
crying.
he's just
ahead.
gonna say,
yeah.
"Stop doing the podcast."
Yeah, let me start
because that's
crying ahead of time.
Okay.
The Jake
So,
stop.
where did
Jake
the
sob
freeze touch
story's
you?
coming. Actually, that was when.
Wait.
You know, for as much as I went to church, I never had an incident like that.
Were you Catholic?
No, I was not, and I think that's why I did not have an incident.
It was also very
my
religious to
family,
me.
yeah, my family did the whole like born again Christian thing, which I think is like Protestant or something. And
Protestant just means not Catholic, so that could be literally
yeah,
any-
probably it's probably that. It's
Doesn't
the
that-
whole
doesn't
like,
that mean-
it's the whole like,
No,
uh,
yeah, trust me.
it's the whole
I am
thing
well
where
aware.
they think like, Jesus Christ, please, come into my heart and forgive me of
Come.
my sins. I know I am flawed, yada yada, and then
Yeah, no, you are Protestant in some form.
Eh.
That's very non.
I protest a lot of things. But anyway,
I mean, yeah, that's. kind
yeah,
of
it's
you're
just
protesting
you
the
accept
message.
Jesus Christ into your heart, and you are guaranteed a spot in the heaven.
Hey, that sounds like what mine was.
Yeah,
we were
Twitch
Baptist.
Christianity is weird.
Yeah,
It's kind of very vague.
it's so many subgenres. It's so many little subgenres with like their own little intricate like distinctions that so many people are like, oh, so you're Catholic. It's like, no, I'm this. It's like, okay, so Catholic? It's like, no. Anyway,
See. Oh, go
I think
ahead.
there's Presbyterian, there's
there's
Baptist,
Presbyterian, there's
Episcopalian.
yeah, there's Piscatarian.
Presbyterian.
there's there's reptilian, there's
What's the one where you hold snakes like a fucking weirdo?
No idea.
That's real. That's a real one.
I don't fucking know, Klidge.
I'm
That's
looking
that's a
this- I'm
weird
looking
guy.
this up.
That's just a
Church
weird
of the
guy.
Snakes.
That's Harry Potterian.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'll get into this school thing. So, first and second grade, they were rough for me socially. I didn't get along with a lot of kids. I had a good handful of friends, but it wasn't like anything
Pentecostal,
special.
apparently.
Pentecostal. That's when you have like 5 different coasts, right?
No, that's where you go to that store that has a lot of like stuff. That's Pentecostal.
It's a Costco.
Costco. Okay, anyway, Pentagon gets repurposed into a Costco in 50 years. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to warn you now.
Yeah. It'll have a spirit Halloween.
Where was I going? I keep
You're
getting
gonna tell
derailed
us
on a
how you-
school thing, dude.
You were gonna tell us how you were molested
I was
by a Catholic priest,
fucking molested.
even though you're not Catholic.
Oh my god. The priest just found me.
He was just
He
there.
sniffed me out.
Scouting.
Mm.
Anyway, first and second grade, not great for me
Like
socially.
Pop-Tarts?
Fucking, hey babe, you want to get DoorDash? Klidge is getting his revenge for that finally. Third, fourth, and fifth grade, my mom tried to homeschool me, and
Sorry.
it didn't go well. Like I was learning shit, but I wasn't learning
Piss.
like I wasn't learning what.
Piss.
Yeah, I didn't learn how to hold my piss, and now here we are. Jeez. I didn't have to hear the teacher say, I don't know, can you? Enough, and now here we are. But
Because you knew good grammar.
sixth grade
No,
rolled
it's Mom taught
around.
him, not his grammar.
Sixth grade rolled around, and
Audible.
my mom was telling me, hey, so we're gonna put you back into school, and I'm like, okay, at least I can hang out with my friends again and all that. And she's like, oh well, we're not putting you in insert name of local school here. She announced that I was going to a Christian school, and it was a private school, and it's not gonna have any bullies because Christian kids are all good. Yeah. Yeah, that was the logic, that because I was going to a Christian school, that everyone was going to be the perfect kid. And I ended up, my mom apologizes for making me go there to this fucking day. But yeah, she enrolled me. It was like $3,000, $4,000 a year for me to go to a repurposed strip mall where I had to wear a green polo shirt with the name of the school on it and khaki pants. I had khakis. Jake, wore khakis.
I like to think it was actually a Poyo shirt.
Fuck you. Anyway, get the fuck out of here. And
Kirby was your headmaster, you little
my
bitch.
god. And so I started up the school year, and right off the bat, I already had my official, class bully. I don't want to say his last name, but I really do because
Call him fucking Franklin.
it's funny. His name is funny.
You can say it and we can bleep it out.
His last name was. Hold on, timestamp
You know
that.
what?
And yeah, so I had my first official bully. Second day, I had 2 more bullies who were upperclassmen, and
Your government assigned bully.
yeah. And yeah, I had a bully in almost every grade. And looking back, oh yeah, the day we were moving, get a load of this shit. The day Chase was helping me move into the apartment like a month ago, I found my yearbook from that school, and I'm like, oh, there I am. And Chase is like, yeah, I would have bullied the fuck out of you too. And I'm like, thanks, Chase.
Damn,
Glad
Chase.
to have you, man.
Same.
And no, seriously, looking back, I look like a scared little bitch. And I was, because this is like, oh, you took me out of normal schooling for 3 years. My social skills are non-existent. And now you're throwing me into this class with these people. I don't know. It's K through 12 all in one small building. And they all interacted. It was crazy. And
That's not a good idea.
it's not. It's really not. But the thing is, when I'm gonna get into like some religious ranting here, but when you have a bunch of fucking, Christian kids who are all raised in Christian households, Christian, faculty members think, what could go wrong? They're not going to do anything bad because doing bad things that's a sin. We don't do
Did
that.
they teach the Crusades?
No, they didn't.
Well,
Surprise. Well, I
Interesting.
wouldn't have known only because I got the fuck out of there as I was going into 8th grade. And I think, at least when I got put back into public school, we didn't learn about the Crusades until like almost all the way through my freshman year.
Really?
Yeah, I think we touched on it in 8th.
That's interesting.
I think we touched on it in 8th grade in public school, but like we spent a lot of time on World War II.
Like we did. Well, my entire 7th grade was spent learning ancient history.
Yeah.
Like we got taught the Crusades. We got taught ancient Chinese history.
Yeah.
A little bit of ancient Japanese history.
Well, if they had taught the
Byzantium,
Crusades in that
Rome.
school, I would not put it past them to really twist what was being taught.
You see, they showed up when the Muslims willingly gave their land to them, much like the Native Americans willingly gave their land to came
Oh,
over,
God.
and the
As
black
they
people
knew that they
willingly
were
came
wrong,
over.
they willingly gave it up to the Christians.
Yeah.
seeing the light of
Allegedly,
God.
willingly.
They heard the voice of God and were like, yes, the white men are the ones who are going to conquer this land, so we should willingly give it up.
Yes.
If anyone out there believes that,
Hey, remember,
I want
the-
you to actually stab a syringe between your toes and kick a wall.
remember, white men were made in God's image. No one else. White men.
Right. That beautiful white man born in the middle of
This is the
fucking
fucking
Saudi
desert.
Arabia.
that one white man in the middle of the desert.
I have a quote
Yeah, no,
about
that would have been the
somewhere.
miracle if Jesus came out whiter than snow.
Yeah, I have a quote about that somewhere. I think it's my rant on Easter.
Oh, I do remember one time there was this little shithead class clown. I love the guy, but his name was Mike, and we had a, what was it, like chapel religion class.
Mike Tyson
I
and
do,
got
yeah.
bullied by him
And he raised his hand and he's like, all right, listen, bitch, I want to ask some. But
Now kiss.
and no, this Mike kid, he was like full on Italian. He had the mustache at like age 12. And
Damn.
he was a funny guy though, and he knew how to get a rise out of the teachers. And during our chapel class, where we had to dress up in these blazers that had shoulder pads that looked like we were in the NFL,
What the fuck?
no, he raises his hand and he was like, so it
Hey, yo,
says in John 3:16 that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, yada yada. I can't remember the whole thing. I remember that part because it was drilled into my head in Sunday school. And he's like, but how did God sacrifice his son if he knew he was gonna get him back 3 days later? And
Yeah, it's like, is it really a sacrifice?
he got taken out of the room, taken to the office. He came back and he wasn't allowed to ask questions in chapel class or religion class anymore. I shit you not. He was not allowed to ask questions anymore.
How dare you question the logical fallacies in our religion?
Yeah. That was also the same, I'm pretty sure that was the same week and or month where my friend David and I were drawing Pokemon and all that shit in our study hall. And I remember the principal, who was also the math teacher and history teacher and substitute teacher for everything else, because they were cheap as fuck, but they overcharged people for tuition for that shitty school. Not like I'm bitter or anything. Fuck those guys.
I can tell, dude. You feeling okay?
No,
No? Okay,
her
sorry.
response to every conflict that arose in that school was bringing them into the office and saying, we are all children of God. We are all friends here. There's no reason to fight. We're all brothers and sisters. We all come from Adam. We all come from Eve. There is no reason
Does that
we
mean we're
need
all
to
committing
argue.
incest?
Yeah, and I thought that. Like, even in, like, fucking 7th grade, I'm like, that's fucking incest.
That's not okay.
Is Neto rare, like... Or wait, what was it? Is incest, like, Neto rare? No, that's incest.
No, it was just like, yeah, that conversation of the fucking Deja.
For those of you who don't know, I'm sure we'll explain that
Go
sometime.
watch my YouTube video. It'll be in the description.
Yeah,
I'll
go on
timecode it.
Klidge's YouTube channel. He'll sauce
Give
the
me
link.
views, please.
But
I need imaginary.
yeah, and
internet
so
views.
I think that teacher, the principal, was like my biggest indirect bully of all. Like,
Let's go
holy
to the
shit.
adult power over
Yes,
you.
high school.
Not only that, but she was the math teacher. It is not a
Gross.
it is not a little known fact that I am bad at math. And
Jake,
let me
did
tell
you break out and sing and dance?
I did, but that's only once I got into 8th grade and I had the Disney faculty.
Do you have a talking Jamaican crab as your sidekick?
But
Did your bullies eat him?
get the fuck out of here.
Did you
I
sing
remember-
with Sora?
Get the fuck out.
What would your Kingdom Hearts level be, Jake?
I never played Kingdom Hearts.
Jake would be, I don't know. I think Pete would be in your level.
They sent my buddy Mike to the fucking office dimension because he was asking too many questions.
He came back a changed man, Sora. He knew too much. He's a part of the darkness.
They sent him to the trenches.
God. I will
Oh
say,
my God.
I did for the very first time watch that video. The Mickey must choose between his best friend or his
Thank you.
country.
Thank
That's
you.
so good.
There's a rumor
very
going around that there's a version out there with Matt Damon and
That's real.
Yes, it is. It is very real.
oh my god. So
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey and Matt Damon voice Mickey and Goofy in an animation where they're in Vietnam and Goofy receives documents or something where they have to like hand it over. Or they,
Christian Bale.
yeah, no, I think Mickey wants to destroy the documents because he's like, I'm not gonna try doing the impression, but it's something else, and I'm sure a lot of people, whoever has the sense of humor to be able to sit through like 4 or 5 podcasts already of this, probably has seen that.
That's true.
And
If you haven't, go check it out.
yeah.
Murder.
Oh my god. They need to know what we're doing to these people, Mickey.
It's the morally correct thing to do. I can't do a Mickey Mouse
Holy
impression. So I'm
shit.
not going to.
That was goofy. Anyway,
I know that was. That's what I'm saying. I can't do a Mickey though.
you sound like you're really surprised at something.
Whoa. Homie. What you say, Goofy?
Marge, we must unplug the boy.
You will not do that. I will have your soul and put it in a bottle.
I have something for you, Lenny Simpson. Anyway, please don't click off the video.
Yeah, I think we should edit that out.
No, I'm not doing that.
No.
Fuck you. My lips just did a brap when I said fuck.
God, there was something I wanted to say
Stop
about
saying
fucking
that,
school, though, is the thing. Like, I'm
Um,
trying to think, like, what was the most fucked up thing that happened in your school while you were there? You can't, I'll say this, I'm gonna preface it with this one thing. If someone died, choose a different thing.
Oh,
no,
there goes
I don't
mine.
think there were any deaths in the time I was at that
I
school.
had one of my good friends died in high school, but I want to think about like other things that like happened that were like, let's go with some more humorous things than just like, yeah, this person I knew as a child fucking died.
I know the most fucked up thing.
Oh, I got one.
And I think I've said this before. I think I might have told Chris about this not too long ago. This was at like the time where the iPhone was first kind of like coming out, so everyone was just getting out of
I'm
flip
happy that
phones.
it came out.
Everyone was just getting past flip phones,
Good for it. Very strong.
and
very
like
brave.
only the rich kids had the like first gen iPhone at this point. And so we didn't even have a.
Sorry.
It's okay, I'll wait. I'm kidding. Does the
I'll just go get
disappointed
another
teacher
beer, give me a
face?
sec. Beer.
Oh god. I'll preface it with this. We were so awful as a school that we didn't even have a gymnasium.
Oh.
We didn't have a gym at the school. Therefore, we had a
You
local
have a gym
YM.
in your fucking strip mall of the school?
No, surprisingly. No, there was
Wow.
actually just this courtyard. They called it the Coliseum for some reason. I don't know. But they made all the kids go in there in like this ancient looking armor, and they gave us weird sword like things. I don't know. But
You gotta
they
poke each other.
there were lions in there too. I don't know. No, what we would have to do for gym class is the gym teacher / garbage man / lunch lady dude would take
Excuse
us.
you.
No, he'd round us
Orange
up.
person.
He'd round us up. He'd fucking hog tie us. He'd fucking wait for us to come in. He'd wait for us to go into like one of the dimly lit hallways and just fucking scream, yeah!
Oh my god.
He'd round us up, and once we were all at the doors, he'd walk us 2 blocks over to the local YMCA that was falling apart. And oh my god, I remember on the way over there one day, he was taking the 8th graders or 9th graders, whatever, over there, and those 2 classes consisted of a lot of Korean foreign exchange students. And I don't know what it was, but a lot of them were very violent in the school. I'm not generalizing, but the student body of this school would, like, the Korean kids were very violent. And they had planned a fight. And I remember one of the white guys and like 2 of the Korean guys and like 1 black guy all got into a fight. And there was a lot of like racial charged negativity behind it from all sides. And I remember my parents got called in because one of the foreign exchange students who was staying with us, his name was Lee, that's all I'm gonna say. He was recorded on a flip phone in like 480p, and he took a kid's face against a brick wall, repeatedly put it with all his strength into the wall over and over again, and then scraped his face along the brick and bashed it against the windowsill. And my parents got called in and they were shown this, and they're like, yeah, he's getting sent back home and he's possibly gonna have charges brought up against him. And the kid who had that done to him didn't want charges being brought up. I don't know why, but yeah, it was pretty bad.
Jesus fuck! Isn't your sister Korean?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm bringing that up just as like that I don't think this is a Jake being racist thing. This is Jake has a sister who's fucking Korean.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went into it saying like I'm not generalizing.
No, I mean it's just you get.
Yeah. I'm trying to paint the picture. But yeah, so we had a second foreign exchange student who was also from South Korea after this. Believe it or not, I don't know why my parents didn't learn the first time.
Okay, now you're generalizing.
What? And so fucking he comes, his name's Jay. He was very cool for like the first half, and then he had this very like strict mentality that like the elder son of the house, and Chris, don't get any kicks off of this, the elder son of the household must be obeyed. And
I am your elder. Obey me.
And so he would do shit all the time, like tell me, you know, get the fuck off the computer, I need to do something, and I'd be like, okay, just give me a second. And it got to physical violence where he would like physically like rip me out of the seat and like toss me aside.
Was he older than you?
He was like 15 while I was 12. And I remember one day it got bad enough to where we all took a trip to Chicago to see my sister. And my sister, from stories I'm sure I've told in the past, is not someone who takes shit. Like she moved to Chicago when she was 17 and somehow didn't cave, and she just does not take shit. And Jay was doing something where he like pressed me into a wall and was telling me like not to backtalk him in front of my parents or something like that, and that I need to shut my fucking mouth and all this shit. And my sister comes up, she grabs him by the fucking wrist, yanks him aside, she starts going the fuck off on him. It's rush hour, everyone's staring, and it was just this huge scene. And he basically, because a woman told him how he needs to act, and I'm not saying this for him, he said this to me when he got back and apologized. He said, where I'm from, when a woman grabs you like that and tells you how you need to act, it is insanely disrespectful. And everyone just went off on him, and they're like, you need to understand that when you are in our home under our watch, what you are doing is disrespectful.
Real shit.
and he couldn't grasp that. Like he seemed like he did for a while, but once he went home, like he and I gave each other a hug. We said see you later. It was nice knowing you, all that. But he was just a little shit.
You ever heard of him since?
He came back like one time 2 years later, and he did not grow at all. And I was like 4 inches taller than him at that point, and I'm just like, but nothing happened.
You carried a club.
I came out
dragged your
in my like loincloth with my club, and I'm just like,
Tiny man.
You come back, why?
And then you hit him with the tip of your head and it crit. Like Marth.
oh my god. But yeah, so there was a lot of shit that went on in that school, man.
Can't steal my move, it's my move.
That's right. What about you, Chris? What about do you have any weird high school stories like that? Like, what's the weirdest thing that happened at your high school?
I mean, I remember kids getting into fights, and we had, if you think about our like classroom area, or we had 2 levels. We had upstairs and downstairs. It was one big square.
You guys
with,
were
like,
rich.
Cross, yeah, because it was an actual fucking high school.
Yeah, not a fucking wall, you fucking bell ringer.
Backwater, fucking north. Yeah.
Nor.
North.
I was gonna go northerner, and then it's like, no, that sounds like I'm saying it from a southerner point of view, and that's
Nord.
weird. You northerner. That's actually me, thank you. But
You are a
So-
southerner.
We're gonna get our slingshots and pelt you with fucking sponge candy.
fuck your sponge candy. I'll take my barbecue hide and raise you one. Yeah, it's laid out as a big square with the cross in the middle, and in like
Oh my.
where everything would intersect, there would usually be fights. So you have like 5 spots for fights. And I remember in 2 of the spots, they had to be broken up because this one bitch, this one fine lady grabbed this other fine lady's head from her hair in the back and slammed her head into a locker
Ooh.
until she passed out. Surprised there weren't security guards on her faster than that, but she scared shit at me.
You guys have security guards?
We had resource officers.
Okay.
We had a few of them though, and I will say I have seen them tase several
What the
teenagers.
fuck?
Dude, what
Yeah,
kind
man.
of fucking school? I can't say that after I just.
Yeah, okay, Disney. Sorry,
Yeah,
Disney.
No,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
it was a
Please
lot
don't
of fights, a lot of and lots of pedophilia accusations.
Oh boy, I think you told that last podcast.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just lots of drama. Oh, so the big one, the big fish that I didn't
The
talk about
beacon.
last time. So this is probably like a really traumatic thing, not for me, but I mean it was kind of for me, but not
Get
as
ready,
much as
folks.
for the other people.
This was the big Yoshi.
It was my band teacher of like 7 years. Turns out he was talking with underage students during that whole time,
Ghosty.
and he tried to talk with me, and I didn't realize that. I mean, I blew him off because I thought it was weird that he was texting me. But yeah. So it was in between the pedophilia and the kids getting tased. That's about it.
Yeah, just 2 regular high school things.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just a couple of blonde boys doing what blonde boys do.
No.
Suburban high schools. What can I say?
My dad has
Yeah.
a ghost club in the woods.
What?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Did you not hear Klidge with the blonde boys doing what blonde boys? Have you not heard it?
Have you not heard that?
I heard it a long time ago. I don't remember anything
song.
other than like.
My dad's got a ghost club in the woods.
Oh god.
So he took all my sheets. Can I sleep over at your house?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
After this podcast, you need to look that up.
I will.
It's
so good.
if you guys listening, have not heard of Super Mega or listened to their podcast, do it. It's better than ours by a long shot. Those guys are fucking hilarious. Jesus Christ! Look up their song "Blonde Boys." Is that the one where they're like, I take the sunscreen and I rub it on my cock? No, I rub it on my nips and the belly of my cock.
That's not. I don't.
Is that
think
a
that's
different
from-
song? That's them. I know for a fact that's
No,
them.
that's Sandago, I think.
Well, that's the same people.
Is it?
Yeah. The difference is that they there's another member that, well, that's a depressing topic, so we're not going to bring it up. At my high school, not my high school, at my school, we had a bunch of fucking weird shit, like weird people. But one thing that sticks out in my mind is, okay, so this should not become this should not be unknown information to members of this Discord server. I have been horrifically constipated for the vast majority of my life. This is relevant information.
Unfortunately, this is well known.
Yes, like I literally, mind you, it's gotten better since I fixed my diet. But for a very long time, I was horrifically constipated, and I do attribute that in pretty high regards to one person,
Me.
and that was my old, I think it was my math teacher in 3rd grade and in 5th grade. For anonymity's sakes, I'm
If you
gonna
can't do the multiplication, you'll get the constipation. And then you were cursed.
I was. Well, what this guy was? What's a good fake name?
I was good at multiplication. I get the concept.
I'm gonna call him. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Can.
All right.
Well, Mr.
All right, everyone. You know now that his name is Mr. Don't.
Yeah, Mr. Can would. He was horrifically intimidating, and he had eyes that looked in completely separate directions. He had a big fucking he had a big circle for a head with these big bulging eyes. That if any, okay, Chris will get this reference, but other people just look it up. He looked like Castor from Fate Zero. Fucking
I like him.
Jill DeRay.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
creepy
he looked
pedophile.
like, yes,
Yeah.
he looked like him.
Didn't he eat kids?
Yeah, he killed and raped kids.
Oh my god.
Canonically, yeah.
Canonically, yeah, he's that's a real, yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Sorry.
historical figure of Jill DeRay, look that up as well.
Also
yeah.
in Fate the anime.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. He looked like that almost to a T, except his hair was like buzz cut.
Ew.
Yeah. And this guy would just like scream at kids. He would just like, if you didn't understand anything, he would like just get up in your face and scream and scream and scream. And so like one time I needed shit in class, so I raised my hand, and he was like, "What? I need to go to the bathroom." He's like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." "No, you don't." So I just sat there, and the dude literally scared the shit into me. And it affected me for most of my life. Like I became hurt. Like I had trauma associated with
That
shit
day, a
because-
cork, a fear cork, formed in Klidge's asshole.
Well, this guy went even further because, like, he sounds like he's a fucking crazy person, right? Like a crazy, just like really
Crazy man.
mean asshole teacher. I had to have been in the 4th grade. I had a buddy of mine whose name I think was Burke. It was in the middle of a basketball game. He was just like kind of, I don't know what he was doing. He was walking somewhere, and for whatever reason, I never learned why he did this. Mr. Can went up to him, grabbed him by the throat, and choke slammed him against a wall,
Oh my god.
and just started screaming at him. Now, he should have been fired there, but he wasn't. He like got a slap on the wrist, and he still teaches at the school I went
He had
to.
plot armor because he was also a Disney villain.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's a weird fucking dude I went to I had in school.
I just want to interject real quick and say that I'm probably not gonna have a voice tomorrow because of those fucking Gilbert impressions. I can feel the raspiness starting. My voice is probably gonna start cracking a lot before we end this.
Hey, how long have we been going?
We have been going an hour and 25.
All right, Audible, you got a story?
Not really, honestly. My
He's
high
been
school was
kicking
pretty
back.
normal. I mean, yeah, not really.
No.
Got a teacher fired, but that was for like different reasons.
You
Was
got a
it?
teacher fired?
Yeah.
Tell us.
All right.
He sent him to the gator pit.
I don't know. I'm just gonna call him Mr. P for this
There you
story.
For pedophile.
No, no. He was maybe
Punching kids' assholes.
He peed a lot.
so. This man, right?
For pee on people.
He was there for 3 or so years total. I was there obviously the last year that he was there, and I had his class. He taught I think it was algebra 2. I don't remember. So Mr. P, he acted like he was like maybe 28, 29, pretty fresh out of college. And he wanted to be a lawyer. He didn't want to be a teacher. So why he was a teacher, beyond me. But
Easy
he was-
paycheck.
Rob?
But he was maybe one of the weirdest people I've ever met. Because, like, when you think of stereotypical, like, nerd, his image is kind of what comes to mind. Like, no facial hair whatsoever, the big black square glasses, like, short cut black hair.
It's okay,
Or
you can
like
say
a-
me.
Yeah.
No,
fearless.
it's not you.
Barely any facial hair, big square black
No.
glasses, shortcut.
No, I mean, like,
And that's
it
not
wasn't buzz cut. It was just slightly longer than a buzz cut. Wore a big tie every day, and carried around a briefcase constantly. So, the start of the year goes well. It's like maybe like 3 weeks in, and we're like we're going on with classes and whatnot, and we start finally learning things. And it's kind of that same situation from earlier, where it's like he just would keep talking and start ignoring people. And like, we're like, well, could you explain what you just said? And he's like, no, I just went over it. You have time to teach yourself at home. And I'm like, not if I don't fucking understand what I'm supposed to be
As a
trying to
matter
learn.
of fact, no, I don't.
That's what I'm
I
in
have
school
video
for.
games to play, nerd.
It's like, first of all, that's what I'm in school for. That's what you're a teacher for. Please teach me. And then it got to the point where we were at odds the entire time, and he paid so little attention in class that I literally cheated on every test in there by pulling my phone out and using the, you know, where you could like take a picture of the math problem and it just automatically give you the calculation.
Nope.
I forget what the app was called, but I literally used that on every test he gave
Wish I
us,
knew
and he
that.
just never noticed.
Yeah, the
But,
thing
like-
is though, with questions like that, or sorry, with like apps like that, I feel like the way around that was teachers always putting on the list of questions, find how you got this. And then I'm like,
No, you see, that's the thing. That app showed you the steps to get there.
hmm.
So I
That
could, like-
seems really like
I
in
think it was
depth.
called like Photomath or something. I don't know if it's still up. But what I do know is that I put minimal work, like shown work on there,
Yeah.
and he still counted it. I got like mostly good grades in that class. But I like couldn't understand anything because he was just going too fast all the time. And he thought I was a good student, I guess, but like everyone else in the class was suffering. I'm like, well, this just can't stand. So, in high school, I wasn't like super standout or anything, but they took the smart kids and were like, hey, come meet us in the auditorium for stuff. We want to ask you about like how the year's going and whatnot. Essentially a status update. By this time, I had already transferred out of his class into a separate class with one of the best teachers. Huh?
You could do that?
You could if you provided valid reasoning, and the fact
How
that he was
big was your...
terrible.
Okay, question. How big were your schools?
Oh, pretty small.
Really? Jake?
Yeah.
We went to Disney High School, so a lot.
No,
Yeah.
high school was fine. My high school had like a student body of like maybe 400 people.
Oh god, that's tiny. We had like.
I had a graduating class of 25, dude.
Oh, well, then my school's pretty big.
Yeah, I'd say probably Audible and I are probably on the same scale as far as our high
Because I mean, like, we're a small town, but this is the only high school in town, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for us.
It's not a small town, but for me, it was, we have like four. We have 4 high schools for the same district in this area. And this is in just
Holy
this
shit.
one city. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
if it's a city, then it's gonna be like that. In
people.
all
I
of
live in, like the suburban outskirts
yeah,
of that
in
city.
our whole entire county, we have I think 5 or 6 high schools.
Yeah, you guys are tiny.
Yeah.
But well, no, my county is huge. My town itself is small. But so I had transferred out of his class into a separate math class that was being taught because I only needed the credit. I didn't need like Algebra 2 specifically. So I transferred in with a different teacher. By the way, best math teacher I've ever had. I love that man to death. Like, he was great. I wonder how he's doing now, actually. But anyway, Mr. P, we got brought into the meeting, and they're like, "Hey, so what's crack-a-lack and smacking?" And
And he looked at you and he took your jaw and pried it open like the T-Rex and
oh
fucking
no, he
King
wasn't in
Kong.
that meeting.
You made the audible strike hand sound.
It was like maybe 30 kids. It was the principal and one of the assistant principals. And so they're like, "Hey, how's the school year been going? Is everything going right?" Because they tried a new system of grading that year. Our high school was like a weird experimental school. Like, we had an hour-long lunch for every student because they all went in at once instead of like A block, B block, C block lunch.
Did you go to high school in a prison?
No, we had
No.
the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
we all
they-
had the same
You
thing.
had you had like letter
Like
Yes.
block
blocks.
lunches. That's
Oh,
like
yeah. That's weird.
Block lunches is
that's
standard.
Yeah.
a legitimate thing.
That's weird as shit to me.
they don't
Silence
do that
Disney
in-
High School.
We had two fucking lunch rooms on each side of the cafeteria.
No. See, the weird thing was because like a lot of the teachers had their rooms open during lunch, so you could go in and like study and stuff and work on homework. That's what it was for. And then like our schedule Mondays and Wednesdays were 2.5 hour periods of 1, 3, and 5. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays were 2.5 hour periods for 2, 4, and 6. And then Fridays was like 40-minute periods for 1 through 6. You did all of them on Fridays. It was super weird. But like, anyway, they took us in one day during lunch and was like, "All right, so what's going on?" Because we tried out a new grade. We started a new grading system that year where tests were 80% of our grade. No, it started out as 90-10. Tests were 90% of our grade and homework was like 10% of the grade. And that was it. It was a terrible system and everyone hated it. So I also got that. I campaigned a revolution to get that changed too. So we went to 80-20, which was the best compromise we could make at the time because they weren't willing to change it anymore since.
Audible led the revolt.
Yeah, I found out recently. It's like I've been a socialist for a lot longer than I thought
Audible established the insurrection.
I am the proletariat.
My goodness.
The guy.
It's me.
He is
guy.
the proletariat.
Just for the podcast channel, I'm gonna post a picture of my school's lunchroom. There were 2 of these. That was it.
I have a picture of your school's lunchroom on hand.
Yeah.
I googled it to show you guys.
That's fair.
They redid the lunchroom at my place like a year after I left, and I was so fucking mad. Their old lunchroom was a fucking nightmare. It's terrible.
They have not remodeled shit at my high school ever because it's a building from like the fucking war. Like it's a nuclear fallout shelter.
What the fuck?
As that's real. It's the only one in town.
Huh. But anyway, they take us in, and they're like, "So what's going on?" And I'm like, "Well,
Mix-mackins.
yeah, we'll crack like a mix mac." And I'm like, "Well, I've transferred out of this class, and I have seen not only improvement directly in my grades, but in my mental health as well." And everyone else is like, "Wait, why is that?" And I'm like, "I transferred out of P's class like a while ago." And they're like, "You what?" Because no one knows I did this because it didn't change my schedule like at all. And they're like, "Wait, we could have done that?" And it's like, "Not anymore. They don't have room in the other classes." And as soon as the principal and the assistant principal hear that, they're like, "You all don't like his class?" And I'm like, and I start saying, it's like, "Yeah, no, he's
You were like, nah, get him out of
terrible.
here.
He stops to teach us literally nothing. Have you ever, like, I even said to them, take a look at all our grades from
Audible,
anyone
you're
in that
getting a
class
little-
and
you're
anyone
getting a
in
little
anyone
choppy.
else's class. Compare them, and you will see that his grades are statistically lower." And like, they wanted to change the subject off of that, obviously, because they didn't want kids trash talking
Mhm.
directly in. But the principal's like, "All right, talk to me about that later, yeah?" And I'm like, "All right, sure." So I get pulled in after that meeting to the principal's office, and they're like, "Were you being serious out there?" And I'm like, "Yes, completely. I have no reason to lie. I'm doing better now. I just don't want to see my fellow students suffering for no good reason because you've put an inept person in charge of in charge of teaching them a subject." Like I said, it's not a very interesting story, but it did happen.
You know, it's pretty interesting. Like, it's fucking.
I guess
Take it from someone who's going into the profession of teaching. The amount of people in this country who can be hired on and who can be hired on as teachers who have no right being them is actually ridiculous. And there are like there's a couple of different kinds of people who go into the field of teaching and why they want to do it. There's people like me who want to go into teaching because they actually want to teach and provide something for a better future. Like, I had a shit time in high school, so I want to go back into the education profession and maybe provide a better experience than I had to other people. What's the fucking name? I want to lead people to a treasure that I cannot myself obtain. Yeah, that's what I'm going.
but
Mostly in
yeah,
other
it's like,
countries.
You were
people
fucking Red Skull from Infinity War.
Yeah, I look like that too. There's the people who just want power, like Mr. Can and the guy in Jake's story, his gym teacher, and then you have pedophiles.
My gym teacher looked like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
yeah, you know what? Maybe the most concerning part about Mr. P's classroom was?
He's a pedophile? Is that what P stands for?
No, P stands for his like name. But
Person diddler?
no, dude had like posters of
Boy.
DC villains just all around his classroom.
He's ahead of his
Like-
time.
Like, he had one of like Poison Ivy, he had one of the Penguin, and it was very specifically the Danny DeVito Penguin.
God damn it.
And I'm like,
Good choice.
did you see The Dark Knight and agree with the Joker?
Yes.
Or are you that guy? Are you society man?
He walks in with his face painted,
We
Oh god.
lights himself on fire, and jumps out a window like the guy did.
But yeah, no, it's
Did
like,
you guys hear about that?
What?
Hmm?
That was the thing that happened in real life not too long ago. Was
That's
a
real life
guy.
Klidge.
A guy, I don't remember if he killed somebody. I think he killed someone while dressed as Heath Ledger's the Joker. Had a 2-hour standoff with the police, set himself on fire, and jumped out his window.
That's hot.
It's a hot way to live.
But,
Anyway,
yeah, it's like I guess I had enough sway with the school itself because I had been in student government a little bit, and I guess they trusted me for some reason.
nerd.
Yeah, I was. Still am. Congratulations, I have a D&D tattoo.
Yeah, but DMT.
Is it DMT?
Welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast. Let's talk about DMT. Fucking yeah, D&D is apparently cool now.
Yeah, now.
My knuckles.
Yeah, isn't it fun that it's cool now after, you know, possible harassment in high school?
Yes.
That was
Very.
And now all the people who harass people for it in high school probably like it now.
But yeah, it's like
True.
I guess I had enough sway because I was one of the kids that could be trusted because I had never done anything wrong ever. Because I was too scared to. So I was like in with the principal. It was great. Our principal was a weirdo.
Speaking of like people, you know, who fucking harass people for shit, we've been going 1 hour and 41 minutes.
All right, we should wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
then.
All right, yeah. Speaking of
what I was
people
gonna
though
say.
who like harass people for shit in school and then like they like it. I remember like a year ago, one of the upperclassmen bullies that I had mentioned that went to my school, was mutual friends with like the only friend that I kept from that school on Facebook, and I remember he commented something. It was Naruto related, and then the bully who had called me some very like some names that I'm not gonna say here, for liking Naruto specifically, posted a Naruto meme, and then they got into this huge like geek discussion about one of the manga chapters, and I'm just like, cool, that's fun.
Oh my god.
Imagine liking Naruto. Anyway, this has been the Woodshed Radio podcast.
We're blonde boys doing what blonde boys do.
I think only one of us in this chat is blonde.
This is accurate.
I am
I
the
said-
superior.
Sorry,
might have
Grim.
said
Bow
blonde.
to me.
Whoa, man,
I am the eldest too.
you're
Whoa.
I don't have
superior.
to bow. I'm already knee height for you.
Wait, you're superior? You watch Attack on Titan?
No, because only Nazi little shit beards watch that.
I looked into a thing last night that we've been saying
talking
about the guy.
Allegedly.
Oh, allegedly, there it is. No, but I looked into that, and that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen the most
However,
recent.
the editor of the manga, sorry, Klidge, strangled his wife to death in August of 2016.
This has been the Woodshed Radio.
This has been the
podcast.
Woodshed Radio
I'm
podcast.
You can find me at Klidge Radio on Twitch and at Sventarian on Twitter. Chris.
You can find me at I Might Be Chris on Instagram or at Blondo Art TV at Twitter.
You can
Blondo
find
Art Designs.
yeah.
I don't remember.
you can find me at SinwalkerTTV on Twitch, Sin_draws on Instagram, and Sinwalker on YouTube.
Last but not least,
Hi, I'm Audible Shrug, or Zach. I'm Audible Shrug on literally everything.
Can't
so
believe this
help
is
me God,
Jake's
if it
brother.
Exists, and I am there. It is Audible Shrug.
thank you
brother.
for.
And if you take Audible Shrug from me on a platform I am not already on, I will find you and I will kill you.
And it's gonna be pretty easy to find you because there's only one Audible Shrug.
This is actually
It's
true.
only-
Like, if you try to take Klidge or Audible Shrug, we're gonna find you.
I'm just
People
gonna name
know the thing with that
myself.
though is sorry.
I'm gonna name myself Non-Visible Shrug.
Visual Sigh.
What was the fuck? No, the thing with Klidge though is like Klidge is a last name. Apparently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
Not
looked it
anymore.
up.
You just took it. So.
Well, I've reclaimed it for horrific.
Anyway,
names.
we're supposed to be letting this podcast die out for the night. Good night,
Like,
everyone.
subscribe the fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Share
help it, yeah.
friends, send it to people.
And send it to Gilbert Gottfried.
Please don't leave us.
Don't leave. We're so lonely.
We're so lonely.
We're so. Oh, thank you for being.
If you want us to talk about stuff, leave it in the comments below. We might.
Yeah, we might. We might argue about it, but
Okay, bye.
Talking.
Okay,
Goodbye.
goodbye.